guys, I'm here at the State House. I'm here with the Election Laws Committee chair for my bill. This is super exciting to be in a place where all decisions are made.
The best thing you can do to be an actively engaged civilian and citizen of the United States is to exercise your right to vote. The problem I learned in my community was that 27 other states and Washington, D.C. have a law that already exists that allows 17-year-olds who will be 18 by the general election, but who are still 17 for the preceding primary, to vote in those primaries. I learned that Massachusetts was not one of those states, and that I was one of those voters who was going to be 18 by the 2020 general election, but who would still be 17 for the preceding primary. And so I wanted myself and other first-time voters to have the same right that other students did in 27 other states. And so I decided that I was going to try to reach out to my representative officials and see if we could do anything about making it a law in Massachusetts, and that's what I did. And I called the office of my state representative. I was pretty nervous to make this call, but from the get-go, she was extremely supportive, and I made a research report for her and her team, and we came up with it together over the course of 2 months. It was about 15 pages. So my state representative suggested that the next step would be to call my state senator, because you would need to have both chambers have someone sponsor the legislation. He was extremely supportive, and he said that whatever legislation that we drafted for the House side, he would then file on the Senate side. And so at that point, I had both chambers supporting it, and also luckily both parties. And so what ended up happening is that COVID-19 pandemic hit, so that legislative session was interrupted by the pandemic, and lots of things were shifted around. And so I worked on it in the next legislative session, which was my senior year of high school. And a similar thing happened where they still had to focus on finalizing legislation regarding the end of the pandemic. So right now I'm in my third session with this legislative effort.
Here I am next to one of the committee rooms. I'm walking through the hallway where a lot of the different offices are for the different state reps. I'm here meeting with the chair of my committee about the next steps for my bill.
I testified at the State House. This bill was put in the Election Laws Committee in Massachusetts.
This legislation is very personal to me. I want all the generations of first-time voters in Massachusetts still to come to have the same opportunity that first-time voters from 27 other states already have to vote in the primaries. It is not too late to make this dream that I, along with many youth in the Commonwealth, share, a reality for the 2024 election cycle. Thank you for your consideration.
The bill will become law if the bill is voted out of the Election Laws Committee, which means it would then go to the floor of both the State House and the State Senate.
I'm here at the House of Representatives with my sponsor, and this is where the bill will be voted on if it makes it to the floor.
When we actually take this bill up, this is where it'll come, is to the House chamber, and this is where we'll actually hear the arguments for it, and we'll actually get to cast our votes in support of this fantastic idea.
If both the State House and the State Senate vote with the majority for it.
I'm here on the Senate floor, and this is where the senators would vote on the bill if we can get it out of the Election Laws Committee.
Then it would have to be signed by the governor. And now we're waiting for the Election Laws Committee to make its decision on all of the bills for this session. So we're still in limbo, but it is a pretty well-supported policy. It's a well-supported policy in Massachusetts, and it's a well-supported policy in the Massachusetts State House. It's just whether or not the state legislature is ready to make a move on it this year or next or the year after next. And either way, I will keep fighting. I was 16 when I proposed this legislation to my representative, and I'm now 21 years old. So I'm not going anywhere until this passes. This is a legislative movement that we are going to continue to support until first-time voters really get the right that they deserve.